I hate Apple. That's why I care about your analysis. I think long-term Apple is a great short, but I'm not going to bet all money on some quarter. I was short, and I was upset because it went up, and obviously just the market had expected something else, and you can't really tell that carefully, but it was down $7. That was the quarter we talked about. And then in the last year quarter, same time, it went down $4 or $5. So 2 times it went up, 2 times it went down in the last 4 quarters.
Oh yeah, according to that, it's a 50-50. Maybe you're right.
It's not a 50-50. It's more of a question of the trade you have on it doesn't really mean anything. It's just a gamble. I
think when I made that trade, I really think I was trying to make like one last big trade, and then I can go in peace, you know, and like a goodbye trade.
There's no such thing as a goodbye trade. If
I stop trading, it's going to consume you completely.
Find the best trade you can, and that's it. And
this is it. This is the best trade I can find. It's going. It's not beating earnings. It's going to be under earnings for the first time in a very long time.
I would rather just sell the out of the money puts, like the 100s and the 105s, and buy 125s and 130s in case. I mean, the vol is going to go to 0 regardless, you know.
Correct.
So, but at least your delta is less.
The delta? You mean the delta? Yeah. The amount of the option that I'm going to
yeah.
Yeah, that's that. Okay, you bring me like very, very good one. I'm not gonna lie, you're right. It's obvious that you're right. I was emotional when I made that trade because I had another bad trade. I traded Alphabet, Google.
Yeah.
I knew that Google was going to underperform. I knew that it was going to come.
You keep saying these things when you say you knew. You don't know anything.
I don't know anything. You're right, but I knew it was going to be underestimated. It did report underestimate, and I still lost the money. And I was like, what the fuck?
What does that tell you?
I mean that I should stop trading.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop.
That's one of the problems with trading is that you can predict corporate events, but it doesn't mean you can predict stock price.
Yeah. That's that. I mean, you're leading, obviously, but not perfect.
Yeah, not perfectly. I was short one stock. I made $15 million in the trade, and I took this photo. No, I'm not a hero. It was a stupid. I bet too much money. I shouldn't have, and I easily could have lost it. And I'll tell you the crazy story. It was just like your Dunce trade. It was a company called Vital Therapies. The stock was VTL, and the stock still is VTL. And they announced their clinical trial results, similar to their earnings, on Friday after the close. After the close, I had all of these options.
Okay.
So I had to exercise the out-of-the-money puts after the close on Friday. It was crazy. I was so lucky that they reported Friday after the close. All they had to do was report Monday.
Oh, yeah, and the option that expired.
Yeah, exactly. So the stock fell, but it didn't fall as much as I thought it would. And, you know, it was just a good lesson. And I knew this company's medical device did not work. It was for liver failure. And I was right, it did not work. But even then, the stock should have gone to like $2, but it stayed at like 6 or 7. It was so strange. And I miscalculated it. I still made a lot of money, but I thought I'd make more. And my point is that even when you're 100% right, and I've been doing this medical, you know, binary event technology, medical technology binary events, pharmaceutical binary events my whole life. And I was as sure of this as I've ever been of anything in my life, and I was still wrong about how much it would go down. I'm lucky it even went down.
Yeah.
It could have gone down on Monday. So getting the timing right, getting the market right, and getting the news right, all three at once, it's almost impossible. You could be right about the business of Apple. I think you're right. I think it's going to be, I'll tell you that story some other time, in Blue. You can be 100% right about the news, and I think you are, not because you're smart and you know what you're doing, you don't. But I happen to also agree with the conclusion that Apple, in the long run, its stock is a good short. So I was very interested to see the news about you. But I don't know, you know, the timing of when the stock will go down. And even if earnings are terrible, all Tim Cook has to say is next quarter will be better or something like that, and you're cooked. No pun intended.
I guess it's, I was talking earlier about, it's funny you tell that, but I went to the bar like a month ago and there were like slot machines and some people were playing. And I went to another bar and then I came back and they were still there playing like 6 hours later. And I said, like, these people are really dumb. They're always playing at slot
You're
machines.
like one of those people, yeah.
I think you might be right.
Everyone is saying it. Nobody thinks what you're doing makes any sense. The only people that yeah, the only people that want you to do this are people who want cheap entertainment at your failure.
Yeah, they want you to fail, yeah.
Or cheap entertainment for your success. I don't think there's a lot of people that want you to fail. But your job is not to be an entertainer. Your job is to make money. Yeah. Make the money you lost, make it back, not to entertain people. If you charge people $10 a ticket and you sold 20,000 tickets, okay, then maybe you could be talking about a good trade.
I might do that, actually.
You should do that. It's the only way I would do what you're doing.
There's 100,000 people on Wall Street bet. If I make my stream private and charge $20 per view, maybe.
I think you'd make a huge profit in that case. You only need 10,000 people to watch your stream.
They got your Patreon money, dude.
Yeah, my Patreon money.
You need a pay-per-view. You need Floyd Mayweather.
Floyd Mayweather. My mom was very impressed that people gave me money to finish. Like, well, those people are paying you, Mom. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna think. You bring a lot of very valid things that you say make a lot of sense. I'm gonna think about it. Probably I'll still be in my bed and I'll still be thinking about what Martin said. I think you're right. I know.
There's always another chance. There's always another chance. My first hedge fund failed. My second hedge fund did fine, but I made all of my money, over $100 million, starting drug companies. Totally different skills. You could do the same. You could read about programming. You could become a great programmer, make millions.
Oh, man, I'm too old.
You're not too old. The guy who started Slither,
that's 40, yeah.
Slither.io, you know what that is?
No, I don't.
Slither.
Yeah, the game.
Yeah, the game. He's going to make over $100 million. It cost him nothing to build a game. Nothing, $0. He's a programmer. You can read programming books. You live with your mom. In 2 years, you'll be a programming expert. Like, do something useful. Create something valuable. Maybe you're not going to hit it big like Slither and make $100 million, but you can make a couple million. I guarantee you.
Yeah, you're really good at motivating people. You have a skill for that.
Well, you also need some kind of. You need a skill. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is. But if you become the best programmer there is, if you become an okay programmer, I pay my programmers a fortune, 100, 150, 200, 250,000 plus stock options, plus bonus. I mean, you can make that every year. In 5 years, you'll have most of the money you lost back. If you are any good at investing, you can learn how to do it slowly. What's that?
Just sell aerosol closet real.
Are you hiring?
I'm not hiring you.
Translation. French.
No, we're good on that. The point is that you can do something with your life that's very productive and positive, or you can go down a road that's not going to be useful. Even if you make your money on this trade, and you just might, I'm not sure that, I'm not sure it'll be worth this crazy anguish that you're going through.
It's not. I mean, you probably read about 2 years ago when I did the same thing on Apple with the smaller stake, and I ended up at the hospital.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I wish you the best. Obviously, I don't care that much, but it's
I'll spend the rest of the night thinking about it.
Part of me wants you to do it just for entertainment, but and I think a lot of people are going to be upset with me if you don't go through with it. But I think you will save a lot of money.
A lot of people are going to be upset at you either way. I mean, that's what I wanted to say. The way people treated me was absolutely disgusting.
Yeah, whatever. I have thick skin. I appreciate it.
I admire your courage because I would never have that.
I appreciate it. There, you know, you can find something to do with your money, even if it's, you know, learning a new skill and, you know, finding a good, you know, I don't know, man. I wish you the best. You know, obviously you're in a tough situation.
I appreciate it.
Whatever you do, you know, good luck. I hope you succeed with whatever you do.
Thank you, man. I mean, you're giving me motivation to make me get out of that, how do you call it, that 𝗥𝗘𝗖𝗢𝗢𝗠𝗘𝗡𝗏𝗦 thing. Since I lost my job, it's been a big shock to me because I was in the oil industry.
Find a skill, you know, some skill. You can learn something, even if it takes you 1, 2, 3 years. What's the big deal? You know, then you'll start profiting before you know it. You know, Jim Simons, he was a mathematician.
I'll make a promise to everyone on the screen. No matter what happens, Wednesday morning, I'm gonna do whether I do it or not, or I just short the stuff. Wednesday morning, I'm gonna follow your advice. I said to people on Wall Street that if I won that trade, I would go to therapy, go to group therapy, or compulsive gamblers, for example.
If you lose the money, you should stay in touch. I'll help you get out of it or whatever. But if you do keep the trade on and you're lucky enough to make some money, then yeah, I hope that you follow what you said you're gonna do.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna do something. I don't want to trade anymore. I'm gonna do something in my life. I guess I can do it with $300,000 or $2.5 million and $0. I guess.
A lot of people want to see what happens. So
I'm gonna think about it all night long until tomorrow morning. I'll take my decision. I might actually I don't know. I might actually follow your advice. It's wise advice. I have to say, it's very wise advice.
Good luck, man. You'll do whatever you do. I think you'll be just fine. That's the good news. You know.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to me. If you want anything, just don't hesitate. Grab my email and see if you want. I don't know, stock advice or something like that. I'm always here. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I think you should definitely keep some of it on. Just not all of it, and not so aggressive. Because the worst thing that would happen is if it went down like $1 and you somehow lost money. Like, you want to just don't go so crazy. You're going so ham.
I'm not doing. I'm 99% sure that Apple is going to be under 120 after 199.9%.
So buy 130 puts, buy 125 puts. You know, buy.
That would be the wise decision.
Short the stock. You know, that's how Steve Cohen would do it. He wouldn't buy 100 puts. He wouldn't buy.
Someone else told me that there's some guys they have a show, and on the show they make fun of me. They say like an idiot. And I'm going to lose everything sooner or later.
So prove them wrong and do the smart thing. Short, sell all those puts you bought, like the 110, 105, 100. Then buy 125 and 130 puts with the proceeds. The bear spread is fine, dude. I think that's the only smart part of your trade.
Okay.
And, you know, if you really want it, you can. That's still, by the way, that's still an irresponsibly idiotic trade. Right? But it's not that it's not as idiotic and irresponsible as before.
Yeah, the calls are going to cost me quite a bit. If it goes up, I think it will, but if it does, the call.
Yeah, I mean, but you're also, you know, maybe just sell the out of the monies, and that way you can, you know, you can at least hold, or, you know, whatever. But yeah, the trade as it's structured is you basically have to have insider information. And not just that, but like there was this trade that Galleon did. They had insider information, they still lost money. On AMD, you don't know how the market's going to react to the quarter. It's just too hard to tell.
Okay.
You know, Galleon, the guy who went to jail for insider trading.
Yeah,
he knew exactly. He had a friend working at AMD who sent him the press release hours in advance. He's still.
Well, I'm in Canada, so.
No, my point is, like, someone could give you the Apple press release right now, and it would be hard to tell whether the stock will go up and down, unless it's very, very bad. The market has a way of sensing these things ahead of time. Yeah, you're very lucky that it's up. It's down. You're up on your trade. Take a little bit of it off, and, you know, restructure the trade a little bit, and, you know, you could be in very good shape and starting to make more money. And I've given you some books and some people to follow and some ideas, and maybe you can be a millionaire yet. But this is not the way to do it.
See, this is what annoys me. Not only did I waste money, I wasted 2 years of my life.
No. You can't think of it that way. Just think about the future. You know, you spend too much time dwelling on the past, and that's just. You'll find plenty. There's plenty of women out there. You know, that's not the problem. The problem is you dwell and you dwell and you dwell and you let it. You're the kind of person that if you flip the coin heads 3 times in a row, you would bet $1 million it would be tails next.
Yeah,
it's
eventually a tail has to come up.
It's still a 50-50 chance.
Yes, but eventually, like when I was playing roulette in the casino, I would do that all the time. I would go around and want to do that, and you know that if you have like 8 reds in a row, can I have a black?
No.
Well, eventually it will. One day it will.
Here's the theory. It's called martingale.
Yeah, I know.
It doesn't.
But I think that if the coin gives 3 tails in a row, it might be big.
It's a classic fallacy. Yeah, it's just you think that maybe it's gonna work, but it won't work.
I should start by learning English. Perhaps that would help.
You're fine. It's more about, you know, just.
Like I made a deal with myself. You could say that if I won this trade, I was stuck in forever. That's the deal I made myself. But then again, I've made that deal before, and I'm doing stuff.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There's another way to look at sizing your bet. You know, I don't know if you've heard of the Kelly criterion.
Oh, yeah, I know bet sizing.
Yeah, Kelly criterion is something you might want to study.
Well, I might get a few different traders.
Yeah, it probably made sense to get them before you started trading.
Yeah, but it's not late. I started with very safe stuff when I started. I moved on gradually. Like I lost so much money trading futures, and it's crazy. I don't think about it. $200,000 is nothing compared to what I lost on futures.
I know, man, but you know, don't lose all of your money in this trade. Whatever you do, I don't care what you do, just don't lose all of your money in this trade. I hope you keep a little bit. I do, because I think you might have the right trade, but don't. Especially if you're so sure of it, you might learn something if you're wrong. But don't lose it all.
There's no hype for the iPhone 7. Nobody I know has one. It just didn't catch on, I guess.
What do you mean?
The iPhone 7, there's no hype.
I think you're right. I think you're 100% right. But there's no reason to bet your life on it. There's Warren Buffett once said, "There's no game of Russian roulette that's that attractive that I would pull the trigger if there was 1 in 1 million chambers, 1 bullet in 1 million chambers. I would not pull the trigger." Yeah, the gun could have a billion chambers, and he would not pull the trigger if there was 1 bullet in 1 of those chambers, because it's.
10 chambers.
What's that?
I would do it with a gun with 10 chambers.
Because you're crazy.
10%.
He's a great investor. He's the richest man in the world, and you're going to lose all of your money because that's your attitude. Change your attitude. Be conservative. It doesn't mean you're going to make less money. It means you're going to make more money.
Yeah.
If you make trades that you can't lose on, this is not one of them. You will do fine if you focus on that. You're making a trade where it's highly likely you're going to lose money. Just take
lose everything. If I lose everything.
Just take the freaking out of the money puts out of it, and then you're intoxicated by the possibility that if the stock drops 20%, you might make $1 zillion, but it is very unlikely.
Yes, I love the money. I just want to get it back. That's how it is. I just feel I have to
let it. But if you got it back, you'd have $2.5 million, which is more than anybody in your town, and there are many people, right?
Yeah.
And you can spend 3 or 4 years getting it back. You don't have to get it back in one trade.
You're right. You're right.
And you obviously like to trade. You like the markets.
My entire day is doing it.
Yeah, so why throw it away? If you mess up this trade, you'll have no capital.
I have nothing left, nothing at all. Like people wrote to me on Reddit, they say like, man, you still have 300K left. That's more than I ever had in my life.
Yeah. Yeah, short some common stock instead of those out of the money puts, or even I would only keep the 120 puts. I would sell all your other puts. You might even make some profit on them, and just short the common stock.
You're a good trader. You're a good trader. You know your stuff way more than you do.
And it's still going to be very entertaining because you're going to find out if you would have been blown out or make $1 million. But at least it's not for you to make this trade. It's for somebody with 20 million in capital to make this trade.
Yeah.
Right? You're trading like you have 20 million in capital, and the consequences will be severe as much as the reward will be severe. Anyway, good luck, man. Whatever you do, I wish you the best.
I appreciate that. As I said, I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm not even going to try.
You should sleep tonight. You get a good night's rest. You want to make the best decision tomorrow.
Maybe if I get drunk.
Try to get drunk. Try to take some Benadryl, but don't stay up all night. Then you're just going to make an even worse decision.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much.
Good luck, man.
And if you need anything, don't hesitate. If you need stuff analysis or anything.
I think I'm going to be okay on that one. Have a good one. Somehow makes all them. He's not a kid. He's older than me. I hope he makes the guy who's.
Does he deserve it?
No, but I just feel terrible for him. I guess I shouldn't.
Martin, which city?
This guy is putting his life savings into Apple stock options. Yeah, no joke. Like he's betting it all on red, basically. Out of the money stock options, puts.
Does he come from like a privileged background or something?
He inherited it, yeah.
Oh, Warren.
He started with 2.5 million. Now he's down to 300 grand.
Not bad.
So he figures that if Apple goes down $20, which it never has ever, he will make all of his money back. Yeah, but what's crazy is it is possible for this to happen. I mean, it's extremely unlikely, but it is possible. And that possible
outlier situation.
No, I agree. Obviously, I just tried to talk him out of it, but.
So he put 300 grand into Apple.
Puts. So he only makes money if Apple goes down dramatically. If it doesn't go down dramatically, he's basically wiped out.
So how much does he make on the put option?
I calculated it out. Like if it goes down $10, he probably triples his money.
Huh.
So if it goes down 5, man, probably even more than that. If it goes down.
Still less than the original.
Well, yeah, he doesn't make his money back unless it literally is cataclysmic.
You're always going to be better off just going to the casino.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, he's a gambler.
He shouldn't be worried about making his money back. That is making 7 times your money in one day is not something that's likely to occur.
I do it all the time, man.
Yeah.
Every day.
I mean, options do go up and down that much all the time. On earnings call, like earnings are expected. Volatility is jacked up.
You must have made tens of millions of options.
Oh yeah, 30 or 40, absolutely. But it was on biotech stuff, and I knew what I was doing. But he doesn't. I mean, he's not an expert in technology or finance. He doesn't understand what like the Greeks are in options. Delta, delta, gamma, vega, etc. So he's
surprised if he doesn't know what things are. Yeah, the most Apple's ever been down is 14 points in one day.
And look, it's possible that this is the start of a recession, and Apple's going to be the harbinger, and everything, et cetera, et cetera. It's also possible that, by the way, they've done well in the wake of Samsung's recall. Like, there's one less big competitor out there.
Very nice guy. I think it's more likely that he's going to lose everything, and he's a gambler. But he could be lucky.
And I hope somehow that he does well. I know that the right move for him is to cancel this trade immediately. But, you know,
Martin, you need to have faith.
Faith and investing.
What's that George Michael song? You gotta have faith, the faith.
And this guy is from Canada.
Dude, he has faith.
The best part is his plan if he's wrong. He's just gonna quote unquote just declare bankruptcy and start over. And it's like,
What a boss.
but this quarter might be really good for Apple as a result.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with you on that. Like they did lose a lot of money.
When your biggest competitor can't sell phones anymore and you sell phones, you might have a good quarter.
Samsung's been tripping for a while.
Yeah, but you know, it's just kind of thing where if you're shorting Apple, you got to be kind of aware of that. And he didn't say anything about that in his quote unquote analysis of the situation, which I would think is going to be. I'm not a tech, especially not a hardware analyst, but I don't know. Like
You've done your 10 hours, bro.
well, yeah, maybe you know the Samsung shortage or recall may just make Apple's fourth quarter earnings a little bit better than expected. Now remember, it's the holiday season. You never know what happens.
That's true.
So unless you know that their Christmas season sucked. And it might have. I mean, who knows? He could be dead right. But the way his trade is set up is that if he's wrong, he's broke.
The way his account is set up.
Yeah, why, exactly. But why go broke over one?
Yeah, but what if he's right?
Why go?
Right, he still loses. He doesn't make any money.
I mean, it's literally as stupid as saying, "Let me jump out of the window. Chances are I'm going to die, but I might grow wings in the process and fly away, and I'll be the first human being ever."
No, this is a little more reasonable than that.
I might be the first human being ever to be able to fly, and how sick would it be to fly like a bird? It's so sick.
Things that won't fall.
Yeah, then it's like, all right, now
From the wings of Apple.
I'm going to go underwater and hope that I can breathe underwater with these gills. Yeah, at some point you just have to ask yourself, let me be reasonable and calculating and intelligent as opposed to, you know, governed by my whimsy and emotion and my insanity, really. No, I think it's his demons. I mean, basically his emotions are telling him it's their decision. And once he goes broke, he'll learn. And everybody gets in this way, and everybody loses their trading account at first. And the question is, do you learn from it? And in this case, the question, you know, will be, will he learn from it? And I think he's going to end up broke at some point, one way or the other. Whether he takes my advice or not, the destiny is for a margin call for him.
What if he just wins on every trade from here to the end of time?
I hope so. DJ Khaled.
I don't know. You can't keep hitting home runs like continuously like that without fucking getting back to reality.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Size your trade. Size your trade for its potential failure. I mean, how much can I make? How much can I lose? The answer to the second question shouldn't be infinity.
Right.
And
I
infinity
can take infinity.
Infinity is whatever is more than you have at the moment.
I mean, you can only lose 100%.
Yeah. Well, you can lose more in your bank money.
Well, of course. Yeah.
I've been there.
Well, let's say he goes bankrupt, right? Then what does he do? He can't get that inheritance back. How is he going to go reinvest in it unless someone invests in him,
I
right?
don't think he cares too much about that. I think he cares about the game, not his investment stuff.
His brain is most likely, you know, different from ours.
Yeah.
That's like a big boy's toy.
The reward of, you know,
He cares about the reward of the game.
and not the risk. Yeah. The risk doesn't scare him as much as the reward tempts him.
Super dangerous president.
Yeah, it's called gambling addiction. You know? And he's
So, What if he should just go to the casino on this?
Well, he's lost a bunch of the money he lost there too.
Like, even if he goes to the casino, he's still losing. Like, there's no way for him to make that back unless he just stops spending. And even then, he can't make it back.
So he's basically pissed poor with money.
He's done. I don't know. I mean, unless he's lucky, like Ron said.
I don't know. He still has 300,000.
Even if he's lucky, he's not lucky.
He still has that 300K.
I asked him if I flipped the coin heads 3 times, would he bet $1 million that the next one would be tails? And he's like, hell yeah. Hell yeah, it's going to be tails.
Yeah, he had no idea.
Oh, dude, one of the problems is when this guy goes bankrupt, right, and they find out what he started with and when he went bankrupt, no one's going to want to invest.
No, but he's never had investors anyway.
He had inheritance of 2 points.
Yeah, it was all inherited. Nobody would give him money. Come on.
No, yeah, well, yeah.
I would give him
Alright, this is good every day.